My name is Francis Alimikana, representing the good people of Edo North. Mr. Nominee, you know this is a period of change. Can you tell this honorable House what policy you want this government to pursue? 2, if you are given the Ministry of Youth and Sports, how are you going to engage our youth? What policy, that's 2. Third one, what policy are you going to introduce for these sports? Thank you. Yes.
Senator Joseph Baobina.
The first one is this. Yes, what policy would you recommend to the government to pursue? Because this is a period of change. Then 2, if you are given the Ministry of Youth and Sports, there's change. Are you not seeing changes now? The changes if you are given the Ministry of Youth and Sports, what policy are you going to engage our youth? 2, third one, how are you going to reorganize the sports in this country?
Senator Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleague. My name is Senator Obinna Oba, Ebonyi Central Zone. Mr. Nominee, let me first of all congratulate you. As a seasoned lawyer, if by special grace of God you are cleared and become, you are posted to Ministry of Justice at the Attorney General. For the past 4 months now, this country has no Attorney General. And there are specific functions that are supposed to be performed by the Attorney General. And since we don't have any, and so many things has been done in that ministry, how are you going to handle it or justify them? Number 2, you just told us here that you want the government, or maybe you are referring to the Senate, to adopt the manifesto of UPN.
No, the government.
Or the government to adopt the manifesto of UPN. Can you tell us the areas, those areas that is not good in the APC manifesto, that you need a change in that aspect? We would like to know. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Bunga Shapa.
That's what he said.
Well, he said it.
He said it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.
I will not raise my hand again.
Senator Bunga Shapa, representing Lagos East Senatorial District.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Nominee, I must confess that your repetition for activity in the positive way has gone beyond the shores of Nigeria. And my questions are going to be in 3 parts. I believe one of them has already been mentioned, but I will say it in another way. Given your experience and background as a political activist of note, what do you think should be introduced by this new government in curbing the excesses and restlessness of our youths? You may want to answer that looking at the economic and social responsibilities of government. Number 2, I want you to please let Nigerians know the specific roles that religious leaders must play in governance. 3, and the last. Of recent, we've been seeing the activities, the negative activities of cattle rustlers. It is not limited to any part of the country. It is giving majority of Nigerians who've been affected negatively one way or the other sleepless nights, including those of us who are not even affected, hoping that maybe one day you might be the next victim. What do you think this present government should do to arrest this situation before it becomes a problem that might consume us as a nation? Thank you.
Mr. Shittu, take those questions.
The first is about policy to take care of change. I believe, with all due humility and sense of responsibility, that the Constitution and the manifesto of APC, I want to say with all due humility that I happen to have been a member of the merger committee, not only of CPC, but also of APC, and I contributed immensely to formulating the contents of both of these documents. The documents adequately capture all those policies that will be required to bring about change. The issue of change, with due respect to all distinguished senators, is not just about campaign of, fun, but about bringing about real change in the lives of people. We know that over the years, Nigerians have gone through a lot of hell. It looks to me, from my experience, that over the years, once politicians are elected into government, they simply say bye-bye to the masses who elected them. A lot of people, when you ask them what have they gained from government over the years, they hardly have anything to point at. So what I believe must be done, and which are captured in both the Constitution and Manifesto of APC, is to ensure that policies which directly affect the lives of individuals are captured. I'll give a very simple example. One of our policies is that children in schools should be given a meal a day throughout the country. If we succeed in implementing this policy, what that simply means is that there must be more productivity on the part of farmers, who must try and produce food items for sale to government, contractors, so that there will be adequate food to go around. If there is increased agricultural productivity, ipso facto, there will be more money in the pockets of our farmers. Again, you talk of the impact of this free meal a day on transporters. If transporters, necessarily transporters will be required to take foodstuffs from farms to city centers, to communities, where government would have to buy them and then use them in the implementation of its policy. So there are several other such things. Again, the issue of giving some money monthly to the aged, as it was being done in Ekiti State, and I think to a large extent in Osun State also. The party decided to capture this in our manifesto, so that not only would children be attracted to go to school and to stay in school, if only because of the fact that they will have a meal superior to what they used to eat in their homes. With due respect to parents, we know that poverty has become endemic in Nigeria. Most parents hardly have 10 naira to give their children who go to school, and as a result, a lot of children become wayward and they don't go to school. But in the hope that they will get food to eat in school, a lot of parents, a lot of children will go to school, and consequently they would benefit from education. The second question from distinguished Senator Francis is about youth and sports ministry. How do you engage our youth? In Nigeria, there are less than 5 active sports which are, being engaged in. Whereas in a country like Egypt, there are more than 15 different kind of sports. Sports not only assist in building healthy lives, it is also a money spinner. As we know that competitions at the international level, at the national level, at local level are regularly being held, and awards and monies exchange hands. So I believe that if I have the opportunity of being the Minister of Youth and Sports, I would ensure that we update our actions on the issue of sports. Sports is very important. One of the things I would like to do is to ensure that grassroots sport is developed to the optimum. As a matter of fact, not only would those who engage in the sports earn livelihood, of course, a lot of other multiplier effect will also be there. Of course, people will pay to watch this. So the economy would become more robust than it is if we really, identify all the important sports, including local traditional sports. It will require a whole lecture, to itemize all of this. And so I want to leave it at that.